All right, guys, so we're back to working on my daughter's, it used to be my daughter's LR4 2011. This is where we had it shut down on them. I'll link the videos before and what we did, but we're still having that issue. We replaced the throttle body thinking it could have been that because those were the codes we were focused on, but I think that was just a byproduct of the issue. What we did notice is we're getting a lot of codes regarding communication with the body control module. It's losing communication with different things. So did some research, and other people have had a similar issue, and they changed out the body control module, and that fixed the issue. So that's what we're going to do today. Don't know if it's going to fix it, but we're going to try it. And we're also going to show you guys how to change or swap out or access the body control module, which is basically the fuse panel behind the glove box. The first thing you want to do, disconnect your battery. I have a charger on it just because we're gonna have to reprogram the body control module to the car, and to do any type of that it needs a fully charged battery. So we're just gonna have it topped off and then probably hook up an additional charger or battery maintainer while it's being programmed. So I will show you guys where it's located. Just want to make sure you unplug your battery, of course, and recommend putting the battery charger on there as well until we get the computer swapped out. All right, let's get to it. Okay, so once you have it emptied out, you're gonna basically take on the side of your glove box, each side, and just squeeze that down a little bit, you can see, and do the same thing to this side, and your glove box will drop. And the control module is that fuse panel right there. So that's what we're going for. What holds it in, there's 5 or 6 connectors, so I'll show it to you. You have 3, I think, on the front side that were facing us, and 1 or 2 on the back. I believe they all lock as well. But before that, we're gonna need to remove this cover down here, which is 2 Phillips screws. Should be able to find it here. And then that'll drop down, and we'll show you what you gotta do next. Okay, so once you have that cover removed, you're gonna look underneath there. At the bottom of it, you're gonna see that. See if I can point to it. That number 10. And then there's another one. Try to get to it right there. That you're gonna remove, and then that'll allow that to slide down. But in the meantime, you'll see 2 connections on the bottom. You can go ahead and, to give you more room, pull it out. Those 2 connections right there go into the bottom of the BCM, and they only go in one port, so you don't have to worry about matching them up. They only go in one way, so just take your time. You don't want to force anything. It's easy to break these locks. So I'll go ahead and remove these 2 and then start disconnecting these pins here. Again, I think all the ones on the board itself are locked on, so there should be a lever lock mechanism there. Okay, for this lower connection, you'll see a prong there and a prong there. You basically squeeze them and pull back. And that should allow you to release the locking mechanism. And as you lift that up, it'll unplug the cable, and then you can move that out of your way. Make it easier to get to those bolts. All right, guys. So I got the body control module out. You can see it's basically over a giant fuse panel and computer built into one. So on the back, you have 3 ports. You're only connected to these 2 on the LR4s and LR3s. To get those connections off, it's a little different than the ones in the front. Let's see if I can get you guys. You'll have it plugged in like this, and you'll see this black piece on top is against your wiring bundle. So you just push that all the way over, and that's the locking mechanism. And then that allows it to slide it out of the back of the slot. And again, if you look, the patterns are all different, so you can't plug it into the wrong one without damaging it. All right, let me grab the one off the parts of the vehicle, and we'll swap this out. All right, guys, so we got the 2 fuse panels. This is the one that were removed. This is one we're replacing it with. Just wanted to show some things. This is out of a Lux. This is out of a regular HSE. So I just want to kind of check the fuses. And actually the one out of the regular HSE I noticed has more fuses here. You can see the extra one there, extra one there. So pulled out the book, and on page 204, the owner's manual, it will list the fuses for this particular fuse panel. And all these extra ones that they have, like there's a 30 amp here, there's a 20 amp here, there's an extra 5 amp here. Those are blank. They're not used in this vehicle. So I'm just gonna remove them so they don't cause confusion. Then I just went through and checked all the other amperages match up in case somebody put in a higher ampere fuse for something and it didn't. But here's another example. The one that came out of it doesn't have a fuse here, but it has a 30 amp fuse here. So I'll just check to see if it's actually a circuit that applies to this particular vehicle. Every vehicle might have something different. This one doesn't have a tow package. The one that we got the BCM from does have a tow package, so you might see some differences there. All the relays are the same. Here's your spare fuses. So all right, let me remove the unneeded fuses and we'll get this thing back in. All right guys, I went ahead and removed all the unneeded fuses. You can see I actually pulled out 5 fuses that weren't needed. And then I also, as I went through it, I matched the amperage with what the book should be for each one. So we know we have all the right fuses and all the right spots. Before I put it in there, I said I'm gonna just grab my multimeter. I'm just gonna check each fuse because it's easy to do right here. So I know all my fuses are good too while I'm here. So all right, let me do that real quick and we'll get this thing installed. All right guys, got it reinstalled. I'd say these two up here are probably the hardest to get, these electrical connections to get in. Did the back ones first, lined those up, then shoved this up higher, back in there all the way and put it on the studs on the bottom. Connected the top 2 connections and then connected this bottom connection. Put the screws back in and then did the 2 small gray ones on the end, and that's all connected. So I'm not gonna put the trim panels back on yet until we program it. So let's see if we can program it. All right guys, well, it's a new day. So yesterday we finished up, swapped over the computers. It runs, but we get all kinds of errors talking about the VIN number not matching. So we did skip a process that we didn't know about. So maybe that was the cause of it. Maybe, you know, online it says you can't have a VIN assigned to it. Once it's assigned, you can't replace it with or use it as a replacement. So, but they also said that about the PCM on the LR4s, and I've swapped out PCMs and coded them for it. So the plan is I'm gonna put the old one back in and go through the process again so I can pull the data from this, and then we'll put the new one back in, or the replacement back in, and try the process again and see how that goes. So stay with it. I'm not going to record it. You guys already saw. I'll get that yanked out. I'll get this one in, and we'll catch back up when we hook up the computer. All right, guys. I got to where I pre-programmed the old computer, got back to it, test run it, made sure it worked, programmed the keys back to it. Then I went back through it to replace the module with the old one back still in it. And then it read the program from it. Then it told me to replace with the module, then hit check mark, which is what I did, and now that's where I'm at now. So I'm gonna go through this. I'm not gonna show you every step, but it's pretty much what we saw earlier. Hopefully we don't get any failures. All right, let me get this going. I got the 2 keys to program during this process. All right, guys, we had a couple good test runs with the BCM replacement, but there is a couple issues that we found. So far, this fixed our problem. We're going to keep driving and see if it's a permanent fix. But when we first turn it on, you'll get a service required notification, and then it clears on its own. No check engine lights, drives fine. We did have an issue with the map sensor, but once we replaced it, it worked fine. That was completely separate, and we put it in a separate video. But 2 other things is we get this error code, FEM, Front Entertainment Control Module fault, and it's module configuration incompatible. So it does not agree with, it's the VIN that's written to the BCM. Even though the car runs it as if it's assigned to its BCM or its VIN, this particular module will not recognize the BCM and gives you that error code for incorrect VIN. So it's a permanent code. Unfortunately, there's not much I can do with that until I can find software or a scanner that will allow me to write the VIN to the computer. None of mine, even the JLR software, I have not yet found where I could write or assign a VIN to it. I go through the configuration process and it shows successful. I've reconfigured this FEM module, shows success, but I always get this permanent code right away. The other issue is our telescoping steering wheel. This has an electronic, because it's a Lux, has the electronic telescoping adjustment. And steering wheel column, it doesn't work anymore. There's a code for a switch. I swapped out the switch. Switch didn't make a difference. So I think it's in the BCM that's not allowing this to work. I will continue to do some research on that. All right, well, after doing some research, we figured out why the power telescoping steering wheel doesn't work, because the BCM that we used is out of a 2010 HSE, not a Lux, and it did not have power telescoping steering wheel. So the BCMs, the only difference is the BCM with or without a power telescoping tilt steering wheel. So we won't be able to get the telescoping power steering column fixed unless I order a BCM specifically from a power tilt telescoping vehicle. So we're gonna look on that, see if we can do some research. At least we know we can swap it out. Not a big deal. But other than that, it's driving, it's working. So we're gonna keep putting on. It might take a couple months until we're completely sure that that's fixed it, but it looks like the BCM was the issue. We haven't gotten any other throttle body shutdowns. But yeah, I wanna close out this video. Let you guys know, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. May God bless you.